Ross Hodge is hunting again, baby. A big update on a European player that would be a huge asset to West Virginia this upcoming season.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia, baby. Well, we're talking West Virginia basketball today. A little bit of pin the tail on the rich rod in segment 2. We'll explain that. And we're going to look at a couple different pieces of tape today, if we have time, of a poll we took. The two players we've chosen for today are Grayson Barnes and William Davis. So we'll be looking at those two at the very end if we have time. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day, the Mountaineers. Without further ado, let's jump into this update as Ross Hodge and company have continued to try to reach into the portal, go international, do different things, high school ranks, JUCO, a little bit of everything to fill out the rest of this roster for 2025. We know we needed an extra guard. We got that at Amir Jenkins. Now we need an extra big or at least another bigger guy, right? Well, enter Luka Skorich, a 6'9", guard skills, absolute stud who's been playing at the equivalent of high major basketball in Europe. The ABA is very similar to what the kind of competition you would see at the lower high major level, right? So it's very good basketball. Guys, if there's a guy's pretty good there, pretty likely he's going to be good over here as well. It's one step below. It's almost like semi-pro, I think, but it's one step below their pro, like the European League, right? So let's check this out, guys, and thank you guys for joining in. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Doris? Thank you guys for joining in, man, as we dive deep here into yet another update for the West Virginia basketball program. So let's share a screen with you guys so that you can see exactly who I'm talking about here, and then I'll give you the breakdown on him. Luka Skorich, 6'9" wing, and Armin Jovic reported on July 9th that he has heard from Kansas, Pitt, and West Virginia. I need to reach out to somebody regarding this too as well. We're going to watch the tape on this kid here in just a second. It's very impressive. He's a 6'9" wing, full forward with guard skills, like I said, out of Croatia. And there's a reason Kansas, UConn, Pitt are involved here. As you can see, he had a 27-11, 3 with 7 steals game at one point in time. So to say that he is, by the way, that was an 110-point victory. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but they won a game by 110 points. I have no clue. So the competition had to be pretty bad. By the way, this episode is going to be brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. All right, so Luka Skorich, in my opinion, would be a pretty big impact player for West Virginia, and would add some really good size to both sides. I think he plays in the front and the back court. So who is he, though? What's the competition level like? Well, I just said in the Admiral Bet ABA League, significantly better and much more difficult than U.S. high school basketball by a wide margin. ABA is a professional adult league with physicality. They've got great strategy in there. They've got talent equivalent to low pro or mid-major college basketball. High school is considered to be amateur teen play, focused on development, obviously. But compared to college, ABA is similar to, like I said, high major, maybe mid-major basketball. So, think like Atlantic 10, right? Something like that. So it's good basketball, like I said. I wouldn't consider it high major, definitely necessarily, even though I did say that in the beginning. I meant mid-major. And so what he is doing here is exploring the NCAA for the 2025-2026 season. He's 22 years old. Born in 2003. He turns 23 in 2026. And as you've seen, he's received high major interest from Kansas, Pitt, West Virginia, etc. His potential eligibility would be he was a freshman / sophomore if cleared, despite his pro experience, which is kind of weird, right? He's 6'9", shooting guard, small forward, kind of hybrid here. Could be a point forward in some situations. He's got guard skills. He's a great off-ball shooter, driver, transition player. He guards the 2 through 4 positions. Scouts are calling him a big sleeper for the upcoming NCAA season with impressive tools, great athletic ability, and shooting. And some people compare him to Kyle Korver, guys. And this kid can absolutely stroke the basketball from deep. So, I think he's a kid that comes in and absolutely contributes right off the rip. He's an elite offensive catch and shoot player, 42.3% from 3. That would be the best in our team, I think, as far as percentages go. Although maybe Honor gets the edge there. I'm not sure. He handles it really well for his size. He Euro steps, he dunks, he has floaters, he's a pretty good passer, and he excels in transition pull-ups and mismatches. If you look at him on defense, he really uses his lengths for blocks, steals, he switches on to smaller guards, and he is a solid rebounder. He's active in the lanes. I wouldn't consider him elite laterally, but he's pretty good there. He, like I said, that elite catch and shoot ability is very important at 42.3%. And I'll be very interested to see just what that looks like in college. He's got some sneaky athletic ability, though. He really does. He's got a high IQ. He sets picks well. He cuts off those picks, and he cuts smartly. And he can be composed under pressure at times, as you'll see on tape. He didn't score a lot this past year. Last year he averaged 13 points a game. This year down to 5.6. Now that's because I'm understanding he's going up to a pro league. So it's a little bit different. Doesn't change the fact that when you watch the tape, there's a reason Kansas, Pitt, and everybody's after him because he's got a ton of ability. You'll see. Let's get the hot piss meter out of the way here, because I've got him scored fairly high here. He's an elite shooter. I've got him in 9.5 out of 10. He's got an elite efficiency, and I think he'd be a great floor spacer for us at 6'9", as a pick and pop or a pick and roll kind of situation. He's got pretty good to close to really, really good athleticism, as you'll see. He can really jump. He's fluid and explosive, and up to thrive in college for sure. On defense, I've given 8.2, man. His length and instincts make him a pretty good defender. He blocks shots from behind. He jumps into passing lanes. He's got quick movements for a kid his size, and I think he is going to be even better with good coaching. His basketball IQ is pretty dang good. I gave it a 9. If you look at him, he shines in transition. He's got a great feel for the game, and I think this pro experience is obviously going to help him with that. His ceiling is extremely high. I gave him 9 out of 10 with ceiling. He's a very versatile wing, and I think he could elevate to the professional leagues after college if he just gets the right coaching. And once, he's going to have a few years to do it, considering he'll only be technically a freshman, which is wild, even at 22. I mean, think of it similarly to like at BYU, they've got kids that go off to missionary or an army. They go off for 4 years, and or however long it is, 2 or 3 years, and then they play and they're older. It's kind of like that for him. So for a total composite score of 44.5 out of 50, that's a boiling hot piss score and close to nuclear. So as you can see, I'm high on the kid. Let's get to the tape and show you why, because I think that's where I'm going to convince you more than anything. Let's watch the first play let's watch the first play I ever saw him make. And it's a wow. It's a wow. It's one of those plays where you're taken aback, like, oh, okay, we're going after this. So the very first play I ever seen him make was this one, and now you will too. So, that was impressive, guys. I mean, you look at it, he takes off from just in front of the free throw line, soars through the air, makes that thing look really easy. He caught my attention after that play. I was like, okay, I got to see more. Here's a highlight tape of him in the pro leagues, guys, playing for Sabona is the name of the team that he plays for there in Croatia. And Croatia puts out really good talent. As you can see, an elite pick and he's just so good at shooting the basketball. He's got such a pretty looking shot. And look how quickly he gets his feet set here, right? His feet are technically behind the line here. Watch him as the pass comes to him. He gets himself in position as the pass is traveling to him behind the line with that left-right step back here and gets his feet set and shoots it all in one fluid motion. And it's such a pretty shot. So beautifully shot. If we slow it down, you'll see. So he steps back, he catches this thing in motion. So he's got what I would consider a bow-legged looking kind of shot. As you can see, his legs go at an angle outwards. It's not something you see a lot, but some guys do that. Or no, it's not bow-legged. It's the opposite of bow-legged. It's inward, right? It's inward facing knees. I don't know somebody may know what it's exactly called down there, but his knees are really close together and his feet are kind of at this diagonal. But I mean, if you look at the mechanics from up top, let me do it one more time. Just an absolute gorgeous shot. Exactly what you want. High arching or that Larry Bird area way above the head, and then just that guide hand perfectly placed, and the release is perfectly released as well. It's exactly what you want out of a shot. This is where this is the play I think that impresses me. He is very quick and athletic. I mean, that's an incredibly, well, guys, this is a very quick move. Very quick move. I was pretty surprised there.
Koji ima samo 16 godina,
There's the Euro step almost dunk, or I don't know if that was a Euro step or not. Yeah, that's a Euro. Watch him Euro step his way across the lane here and almost dunk on somebody. Basically, a Euro step is, so you'll see here how he crosses over. Now look how he takes that left foot and then he transitions over this way with the right leg and then does the little left-handed layup. That's a version of the Euro step. It was invented over there.
Koji ima samo 16 godina.
Very pretty. In the post game. Very nicely done. And here's the thing too, guys. Get this kid in a weight program in college, and the potential is through the roof massive. Now, here's the thing. If he wants to play in the NBA, you don't really want him to stay any longer than 2 years in your program. So you would want him to come in this year. You wouldn't want him to hit the weights hard. And then coming into the next year, you're talking about a kid that has the skill set to be an all Big 12 player. I don't know. I don't know where he's. I did get an update on this, and I'll give you guys the update. I meant to tell you sooner, but I do have an update on what the plans are here. But as you can see, he's really good at he's got obviously putting his shoulder in the ground, and then a nice pivot outward, and then a little fadeaway shot that I love to see there. And he loves to get to that left hand, as you can see. But he's got the scoring potential. I mean, if you look here, there's no reason he shouldn't. He's scoring 5 points a game. It's just because he's probably not needed or isn't, doesn't need to be as aggressive. But he's got the skill set to do whatever he wants. That's a little bit loud. Sorry, guys. He can really leap. He's easy for him. Look at the crossover. That's a nasty shot. So obviously, he's just a very gifted player. And this is what I'm talking about, the high IQ as well. He knows how to use his body. He catches the ball with his back to his opponent. He steps through with a triple threat, takes a couple dribbles, crosses over to the left hand, and pulls the shot. I love basketball like that. That's a nasty shot. I love that. Not even a dribble, and literally pats the backboard with both hands. Very impressive. I mean, this is on no dribbles here, right? This is you catch it at or yeah, he's got his hand on the ball at the 3-point line and takes 1-2 steps, leaps, and just flies to the rim. I mean, he could have dunked it easily if he wanted to. Very impressive. It's the reason I gave him such a high score. He is vastly underused at wherever he's at here. The fact that he's only scoring 5 points a game is an indictment against whoever this coaching staff is. This kid should have the ball a lot more. Now, I don't know who they have on their team, and maybe I'm sounding like an idiot saying that maybe they have somebody that's way better. But this kid's an offensively skilled player. That's just all there's to it. Look at this here. He takes the 2 dribbles to the middle of the lane at the mid-range, and the pump fake is beautiful here. This is where I'm talking about him as a high IQ player. He does things like this consistently where he's just an advanced player, right? He's 22 years old. He plays like a senior in college would. And you're going to get him as a freshman. It's literally the ultimate win. Just a beautifully done. And look at him use his body to get in there too. Nice pull and pop. At the mid-range. Back to that crossover again. He loves to cross to that left hand, man. And great handles. Back to, he does it over and over. That might start to be a tell. He loves to cross to that left hand like that, right? So if you see, this is the 4th time on this clip alone that we've seen him cross to the left hand and pull it. And it's a rhythm thing. I totally get it because I was the same exact way. He's got way more to his game than that, though. Ooh, that's such a pretty shot, guys. Just absolute money off the flash. A flash is whenever you run towards the ball off a screen, right? So if you get somebody sets a screen for you like this here and you flash towards the ball, right? So that's why I call it a flash. Maybe other people have different verbiage. But, I mean, as you can see, this guy here, flat-footed, what's he doing? Yeah, I mean, nowhere near where he should be. But, he catches up, and then just a buttery smooth touch in the mid-range. Such a pretty shot. There he is, that left hand again. So, I think that's something he's going to have to come out of a little. I watched a lot of his tape earlier today, just game footage. He loves to try to get to this left hand. It's like a goal for him. Like, he's just comfortable coming from the left, pulling up with the right. I am too. But I mean, obviously it's working in that sense of the term inside the play. So this is well, I would love to get him. I don't, and the update I got was West Virginia is definitely in the running. West Virginia has a shot. I don't know how hard other teams are pursuing him. I think it's probably a money situation. Also, the buyout, because there's going to be a buyout, right? Because the way it works over there is, I think in the NBA, 650 or 80,000 is the most they have to pay for a buyout. I assume it's the same for college. Like, if I'm going to buy out one of those players over in those leagues, I think the NBA, when they do it, it's like 600-something thousand. But I don't know if that's EuroLeague. I don't know if it's the same rules. I have no clue. There's a lot I don't know about it. He would obviously come over on an A1 visa, And so what that does, the reason West Virginia has a chance in that sense is because you guys remember when we put that class together a few years ago where we had, um, Jesse Edwards and all those guys. Jesse Edwards is from the Netherlands, right? You had Kirk Risa, who's from Croatia or wherever he's from. I think it's Croatia. Jay Kuntz was he was way early on this, getting kids over here on the A1 visas. And on an A1 visa, you only can make so much in the United States. So what it allowed West Virginia to do was get these players that you literally legally you couldn't pay them in the United States all the money that some other kids were getting. Like a Jesse Edwards, no way you could pay him $1 million in the States, but over in the Netherlands or in another country, you can't. Outside the U.S., you can make that deal with him. So West Virginia figured that out, and that's why we got that really great first recruiting class that we didn't get to see really all of it anyways, because Bob Huggins unfortunately got fired. So I'm assuming it would be a similar situation where he would come over on a visa, an A1 visa. It would be like a work visa where but it's a sports version of it. It's made for athletes, and he would make a certain amount of money over here. I don't know what it would be. And then you maybe try to get him other NIL deals in his home country or something like that. So that's kind of how that works. Obviously, Kansas and places like that probably have a little bit of an edge in those situations, but I don't know enough about it to speak. I don't have enough education on the matter to know if Kansas has an edge over West Virginia in other countries or not. You know what I'm saying? So, and I honestly don't know that if it's still done that way. I know it was a few years ago. I did a lot of research, several days worth of research on the visas and the things, because I was shocked that we had the number one class in the country that year. I just couldn't believe it. And it's all because Jay Kuntz and those guys figured out how to get the foreign kids, before a lot of people did. So we'll go to break now. We'll come back on the other side, and let's talk a little bit about Rich Rod and something funny, man. Obviously, he's talking about burning couches and everything, but there's another thing that he did. They took a poll, anonymous coaches asked about Texas Tech and their situation. And Rich Rod, hilariously, even though they're anonymous, you can tell it's him. It's the funniest thing ever. We'll talk about that next. And then we got a couple players to look at on the football side that you guys voted for. We'll look at that next too. Be right back. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Game Time. And look, when we talk about Game Time, they're doing it big. They're always doing it big at Game Time. And we love talking about it because they are the best. They are the best. We've all been there, guys, logging on early, waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot to the show you've seen before or that you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories and not dealing with the stresses of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, so you can save up to 60% off with your killer last-minute deals. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets on or show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Read the terms and then create an account. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off today, and download the Game Time app where you can get last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed, and you'll find out the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. All right, segment 2. Let's crack open a do. Oh, I'm late for segment 2, huh? Wow, I went a little bit too far on that one. Sometimes I lose track of the time, y'all. My bad. I should have went to break a lot earlier. I got to be better at that. All right. This is so funny. So let me see if I can find the article. Well, that's okay. I'll just read it to you. Big 12 coaches discuss Texas Tech's NIL spending. And, the anonymous coaches, whatever you want to say, were all asked about this situation. And here are their responses. So it's pretty funny stuff, man. Here are the responses, okay? And you guys, I want you guys to tell me which one is Rich Rodriguez. I'm gonna try not. I'm gonna try not to act it up. You know what I mean? Because if I read if I read the one I think is Rich Rod's like Rich Rod, you'll know for sure. I think you're gonna know just because of the verbiage alone. But so let me know down below which number you think is him. Number one, some people are going to spin like the Yankees and Dodgers, and some people are going to spin like the Rays and the Royals. That doesn't mean we all don't have a chance, but it's tough. Good for them. I'm jealous. Ridiculous. They're not just outbidding, they're outbidding other teams by 3 times. Wild. But it'd be interesting if their players are good kids, about the right things and about winning. I think it'll go great. If they're about themselves, the first time adversity hits will define them. That's number 3. Number 4 is asinine. Number 5, it's awesome if you got it. I wish I had it. Oh my gosh. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 5. Number 6, I mean, it's childish. I think, hey, look at me. I don't think it's good for college football. That's number 7. Or no, that's number 6. Sorry. Number 7. The pressure that's going to come with all that money Texas Tech spent is going to be tough. They bought some damn good ones. I can't even pretend, guys. You know what I mean? I can't even pretend. Oh, God. Number 9. I don't know what to believe. I don't even know how it's possible. Those are big numbers. There will be a lot of young men taking pay cuts when they get done playing college football. I keep losing track here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10. Yep. They built the best team money can buy, but if they don't win the Big 12, holy cow. Number 12. Let's see how it plays out. Complaining, bitching, whining, nobody wants to hear that. So, obviously, you guys probably know which one I think it is. I'll read you the one I think it is, obviously. Made me laugh when I first read it because I read it in Rich Rod's voice. I think it's this one. Now, there's 2 I think could be him. Rich Rod's not the kind of person that's going to complain about this. He's just not, like a Mike Gundy or something. Like, I could see Gundy saying something like, no offense to anybody, but I could see Gundy saying, like, I don't know what to believe. I don't even know how it's possible. Those are big numbers. There'll be a lot of young men taking pay cuts when they're done playing college football, or, I mean, it's childish. I think it's, hey, look at me. I don't think it's good for college football. Like, I could see Gundy saying something like that. But, or ridiculous. They're not just outbidding. They're outbidding other teams by 3 times. Wild. But it will be interesting. If they're good players or good kids about the right things and about winning, I think it'll go great. If they're about themselves, the first time adversity hits will define them. So it depends on the tone for that one. I can see Rich Rod saying that one because of the end. Like, if the players are good kids about the right things and about winning, I think it'll go great. If they're about themselves, the first time adversity hits will define them. I could see Rich Rod saying that. It just depends on the tone because he wouldn't be like ridiculous. They're just outbidding everybody. Like, he wouldn't say that, in my opinion. He could say something like, they built the best team money can buy, but if they don't win the Big 12, holy cow. Like, I could see him saying that one too, but I think it's definitely this one. Where is it again? Good for them. Hell, if I had Cody Campbell, I'd be doing sleepovers at his house. Hey, best buddy, how can I help you? You shitting me? I don't blame them. If you're going to buy a player, buy the right player. And they bought some damn good ones. That's Rich Rod. 100%. Can't convince me different. If that's not Rich Rod, then I don't watch every press conference and every interview and every snippet of everything he's ever done. I know his cadence and how he talks, but I could be wrong. I mean, sometimes you think you know things and you don't. So curious to know what you guys think. Let me know down below just for fun, because I certainly got a kick out of that. All right, we'll go to break one more time here since I didn't go as soon like I should have earlier. We come back, we'll look at a couple pieces of tape from Will Davis and Grayson Barnes. All right, guys, we are back here in Locked On West Virginia in segment 3. As you guys know, I've updated you the last couple of days in segment 3 on what's going on. I leave in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to Utah. I'm excited about it. I'm nervous about it at the same time. I want to represent everybody well, meeting Coach Sataki and the staff and everybody. That's going to be nerve-wracking for me. Just to be totally honest, sometimes I struggle with feeling like, I don't measure up sometimes, or maybe I don't deserve this, based on my past and stuff. So I'm very grateful for this, and I'm trying to enjoy it. But sometimes I'm my own worst enemy with it. I know I've worked hard to get here, and I've gone even through the hospital. I've gone 7 days a week for a long time, since October. I think I've missed 3 days. So it's important to me, and I know I put in the work. It's wild to get the opportunity. It's crazy. You never could have ever told me that I would be doing this 5-6 years ago, ever. So, you guys show up for me. That's a big part of this. There's plenty of you in the chat here. Tosh Miller has been watching me for years. I'm just seeing his name right there. Tosh has been watching me for literally years. He doesn't always agree with me, and he don't ever really voice it. But, he's been down there for years, and he's not the only one. Blue and Gold Nation, I didn't see you were in the chat, but thank you for joining in. I used some of your video the other day I didn't ask you, but I figured you wouldn't care as long as I credited you. Russell Wall. Hey, buddy, what's up? So anyways, no news on Jamoy Robinson or the waivers yet. I just want to thank you guys for showing up. That's all. That's it. I just want to thank you guys for showing up. I know not everybody watching this right now likes me. I know that. I know some of y'all don't like me. I'm okay with that. I can live with that because I don't like some of y'all. And I have strong takes and opinions, and I'm open and honest about everything. And I think that rubs certain people the wrong way. And I'm also can be combative whenever somebody disagrees with me. I've got to get better at that. Sometimes I'll argue with just one person over something. But anyways, let's get some tape here before I ramble on. All right. Grayson Barnes, I think I'm going to do him first. I don't even know if he's got any tape out there left since some of it's been deleted. He's an interesting one, guys, because I remember when he first committed to West Virginia, I was so excited about him. A true receiving tight end. His dad's cool looking with the tattoos and stuff here. Huh. That's cool. But, he was a true leader on that Northern Illinois team. He's really been one of those guys that was like really, really big deal for them. He had one of the best catches I've seen in a long time in a game. We're going to try to find that on here if you haven't seen it. He is about a 4.7, somewhere in there guy. So he's not blazing fast, but he is a good receiving tight end for sure. Here it is. This is the grab that everybody knows about from Grayson Barnes, if you haven't seen it.
For 2 on 3rd down. The soft touch.
So a one-handed catch, which is pretty awesome, right? I mean, that's one heck of a catch there. And he got 2 feet in, it looks like. But, you know, this is like one of the only plays where you actually get to see him run downfield and everything. But, you know, I don't think he's got much else. There might be some practice stuff. I just hadn't talked about him much. Oops, didn't mean to pull that up. You know, I haven't talked about Grayson Barnes much. I think I've overlooked him as one of our better players, and that's on me. Gosh, look at him here in 2019. He has grown a lot, hasn't he? Wow. He had his sleeves rolled up. You know, gone from that to looks like here's him in 2019 as well. There he is making a big catch, probably a receiver. At that point in time anyway. Then he finally went to college, and then he grew into the monster that he is at 6'6", 6 foot, whatever he is, 6'7". But I mean, he's a player that, you know, what was his stat line in Northern Illinois last year? Let me see really quick. Because honestly, I haven't looked in a while. Grayson Barnes, stat line, NIU. Okay. He averaged 10.9 yards per catch with 338 receiving yards. Made 1 catch in every game. Recorded 4 catches in several games. Caught 6 passes for 2 touchdowns and 57 yards in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. He's 6'6", 225. He had 31 catches for 338 yards and 4 touchdowns. If we get that out of him this year, I'll be pretty happy. You know, I'd like to get 40 catches out of him and maybe like 5 or 6. That puts you on the all Big 12 radar, I think, at tight end. But, man, it'd be nice to get a kid like Genros to really turn it on and do big numbers. But I haven't focused on Barnes a ton. So, what's up, J.A. Jones? Hello from England, formerly the lookout for Whitesville areas. Well, thank you so much. That's it, Kevin. Knock-kneed. That's right. Somebody in the chat just corrected me on it's not bow-legged, it's knee-knocked or whatever. That's right. Yep. Knees knocking together. So Grayson Barnes is somebody we need to keep our eyes on, and definitely somebody I think can make an impact. I haven't talked about him enough, honestly, this year. There's so many different guys to talk about that I guess it's just easy to forget. But if you want to talk about Will Davis, you know, one thing I point out with Will Davis every time I bring his name up, and for those of you, I don't know why that was showing. Wow. You know, one thing about Will Davis that shocks me, totally shocks me, is his stat line from college. We're going to go down here and find it. There it is right here. You know, 1 year of eligibility remaining, first team all conference, 126 tackles, 26 tackles for loss, 12 interceptions, 3 interceptions returned for touchdown, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, two-time team captain, and 2-year starter. It's literally impossible to get much better than that. Like, those are insane numbers. So the real question is can he transfer this up? This is an All-American at the FCS level, for sure. So, you know, a ton of talent, ton of ability. I think what you see on tape from Will Davis a lot is he makes smart plays. Like, I think he thinks it was head first. And then he's got good athletic ability. He's a little undersized. But I think this is the kind of kid that can succeed at West Virginia for sure. You know? And as you can see, like, I was getting ready to point this out. I should have said it when I wanted to. But, like, you can see, like, he read this play, like he was heading this direction before the quarterback ever lets it go. Watch his feet plant to go this direction before he lets the ball go. See? He's already heading that direction, and he's right out there for the pick and the pick six. I mean, that's a pretty fast quarterback there, by the way. Good Lord. But he outpaces him. for the pick six, 100 yards, close to it. Will Davis. This is a nice, clear picture. Cool. Here he is on the is he going late over the middle? Yep. What do they teach you as a quarterback? What's the rule number one? Never throw it late and across the middle. Well, you know why? It's because it's like it's the backwash kind of like, like you're running this way, the ball's coming this way, and a guy can angle it out. It's just it's just a bad idea. Just like this here, you throw it late and across the middle. This guy's running before you ever even let it go. The ball is usually floating on this because you're moving right, throwing back to your left. It works sometimes now, and you get big gains, but for the most part, this is what happens. Easiest pick six of his life. Oh, his hamstring was hurt. That's pretty funny. Oh, nice fumble. Here he is playing on the edge right here. Destroyed the running back, didn't he? I mean, this is called what you call a bull rush. Oh, get off. I bet they play that on the big monitor for everybody. So here he is up top here. And just another great interception, man. Like Will Davis, man, what can you say about him? I think he's got a chance to be good for us, guys. Every time I watch him, he makes a believer out of me. Just, undercutting this ball is pretty cool. Pretty good play. The bad throw, but, there's a couple plays, though, where you literally see Will use his head to make the play. There he is, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I say this a lot. I usually try to say it every 5 or 6 videos, but, like, when I'm evaluating somebody, the only thing you can do is look at how they move relative to everybody around them, because that's the best way you're going to find out what kind of an athlete somebody is on the field they're playing on. Against Alabama, he may not look like this. I get it. So there's levels to it. But against these teams and these players, this 22 players or whatever, he moves different than the other guys, right? He's more athletic. He's faster. Obviously, he looks stronger as well. Like when you see him make a cut and move, he just looks different than everybody else. I mean, everybody else is moving in slow motion right here to the ball. So that's just one of the things I look for. Like, do they pop on tape? You hear it a lot too. Do they show up on tape? What does that mean exactly? Everybody's on tape. You can see everybody. And like if I focus on, let's say I focus on this guy, this play, what's he look like? Not very impressive. He's kind of just barely moseying around, right? Or what about this guy or this guy? Are they impressive this play? No, he gets blocked and destroyed. Like, I don't know, but who's making the play? He is. Same play again. Don't try to throw him on the out route. He's going to undercut you. It's just what he does. What's he doing here? Is this the one where he jumps over? No. Okay. This is another great example. Look at how quickly he's moving relative to everybody else and the way he just shoots in here. Impressive. Don't be surprised if Will Davis gets on the field, guys, this year for West Virginia, and maybe don't go off the field if he can play somewhat like. Wouldn't it be great if he could play like this? He is a super impressive player. I think there's a reason they evaluated him. I think there's a reason they brought him up to our level, the whole nine. What is formation this is? You literally got your 5 offensive linemen. You got trips and 2 split out. You basically got 5 wide here, but you got trips right here in a stacked bunched formation. And look at the spacing. It's odd because if this were Dana's offense, this kid would be out to almost on the edge of the white, and this kid would be out on the edge of the white. I don't know if you ever paid attention, but like that's what Dana Holger said. They use all the field. That's why they're able to get so many different kind of what they call easy yards. You know, 0 calories. The spacing on this play not as great. I mean, I don't know if it matters, but just a point, just making a point. I think that's Will Davis. I'm trying to figure out which one he is. Okay, there he is. There's another pick for Will. I mean, how many have we seen him get? This is his third or fourth one returned for possibly a touchdown. Oh, okay, no. He returned 3 or 4. How many per touchdowns? 3 per touchdown. And so I mean, just can you imagine? That's insane numbers. He just finds a way to get in the play and make a play on the ball. Will Davis, though, big fan. I think he's got a chance to make a big impact. Certainly think he is one of those kids that he's a grown man now that is nobody knows who he is outside of us. We're all nuts. We're all us, all 400 of us watching right now. We're sickos. We're the junkies. We're the ones that are watching a random fat dude talk about West Virginia at 3:40 on a Sunday. when it's 100 degrees outside, you could be doing anything else. But that's why we are who we are. That's why we're the best fan base in the Big 12. That's why. Nobody else is like us. I don't care what anybody thinks. All right, guys. Thank you, Keith England, for that. I appreciate you, man. Glad you're here. I appreciate y'all for being here too. And I will be gone tomorrow. I'm leaving out of town. I'm going to try to post as often as I can. I've got some videos I think I'm going to make today in the holster. They're going to have to be short, 20, 25-minute videos so I can get through, but at least you'll have something while I'm gone. If you got some topic ideas, let me know down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network where we talk about your team every single day. Make sure you check out Locked On Portal next, and I will be on my way to Utah tomorrow. I'm excited, guys. Can't wait to film it for you. I'll see you then. Have a great one, and I'm out.